The annals of criminal history are darkened by the heinous acts of serial killers, whose crimes both horrify and captivate public imagination. Their motivations, methods, and mindsets remain subjects of intense research and morbid fascination. One such murderer, originating from the foggy streets of 19th century London, remains unidentified and elusive. Number 1. Jack the Ripper, London, late 1800s. Amidst the cobblestone streets of Victorian London, a menace lurked in the shadows. Jack the Ripper, a name synonymous with fear, brutally ended the lives of at least 5 women in the Whitechapel district between August and November of 1888. Each of his victims was found gruesomely mutilated, indicating both rage and perhaps some form of perverse surgical fascination. The brutality of his crimes stirred panic, but what augmented the terror was the way he seemed to vanish after each killing, slipping away like a phantom. The lack of forensic technology meant that evidence was scarce. Letters were sent to the police, taunting authorities with cryptic messages. The most infamous is the "From Hell" letter, accompanied by half of a preserved human kidney, a grim memento from one of the victims. His legacy is a chilling reminder of the capacity for evil. To this day, the identity of Jack the Ripper remains one of the most enduring mysteries in the realm of true crime. The haunting tale serves as a testament to the lasting impact of unsolved crimes on the history of investigation. Number 2. Ted Bundy, USA, 1970s. The name Ted Bundy has become synonymous with the embodiment of pure evil. As one of the most notorious serial killers of the 20th century, Bundy's charm and malevolent acts have horrified the world. By the 1970s, young women across several states began disappearing, and a pattern of brutal abductions and murders emerged. Bundy's modus operandi was chillingly calculated. He would often feign injury using crutches or a cast to appeal to the kindness of his female victims. Once within his grasp, they would be overpowered and killed. His charm was his primary weapon, making him approachable, which proved deadly for many. His reign of terror spanned several states. His capture in February 1978 marked the end of his horrifying spree. Representing himself in court, Bundy's intelligence was on full display. Over time, he confessed to the murders of 30 women, though the actual number is believed to be higher. He was executed in the electric chair in January 1989. His story serves as a grim reminder that monsters can exist behind the most ordinary or even charming facades. Number 3. Jeffrey Dahmer, USA, 1980s to 1990s. Jeffrey Dahmer, infamously dubbed the Milwaukee Cannibal, stands out for the chilling nature of his acts. Between 1978 and 1991, Dahmer lured, killed, and dismembered 17 young men. Most of his victims were from marginalized groups. He frequented local bars, exploiting the vulnerabilities of his potential victims. Dahmer's acts of cannibalism added a deeper layer of horror. He kept body parts as trophies, taking photographs of his mutilated victims to relive the experience. This ritualistic approach provides a glimpse into his deeply disturbed psyche. His grim reign was finally halted in 1991 when a would-be victim managed to escape and alert the police. The subsequent search of Dahmer's apartment unveiled a chamber of horrors, Polaroids of victims, preserved skulls, and a refrigerator filled with human remains. During the trial, he was found sane and guilty. In 1994, Jeffrey Dahmer met his own violent end when he was beaten to death by a fellow inmate. His story remains an embodiment of the extremities to which human depravity can stretch. Number 4. John Wayne Gacy, USA, 1970s. To the outside world, John Wayne Gacy presented himself as a model citizen and a performer at children's hospitals as Pogo the Clown. But beneath this facade lay a dark secret that earned him the moniker Killer Clown. Between 1972 and 1978, Gacy claimed the lives of at least 33 young men and boys. The gravity of his crimes came to light in December 1978, when a missing teenager was connected to Gacy. This connection led the police to his doorstep. Once investigators began their search of Gacy's property, the extent of his heinous crimes was unearthed. The house held the remains of 29 bodies hidden beneath the floorboards. The stench of decay was a grim testament to the horrors hidden there. Gacy's subsequent trial became a national sensation. He was found guilty of 33 counts of murder and sentenced to death.
Little double loop, and you put a stick in there, and then you twist it.
He spent 14 years on death row before his execution in 1994. The legacy of John Wayne Gacy is one of profound darkness, standing as a chilling example of the hidden monsters that might lurk in plain sight. Number 5. Andrei Chikatilo, Soviet Union 1980s. In the Soviet Union, Andrei Chikatilo, known as the Butcher of Rostov, was responsible for a spree of heinous crimes. Born in Ukraine, his early life was marred by hardship. For years, the Soviet authorities struggled to capture the elusive killer. The sheer scale of his atrocities was initially suppressed by the state-controlled media. However, as the body count grew, the urgency to capture Chikatilo intensified. The police found themselves chasing shadows, and innocent men were detained in desperation. It wasn't until 1990 that Chikatilo was finally apprehended. Under interrogation, he confessed to over 50 murders, recounting them with chilling detail. In 1992, he was found guilty of 53 counts of murder and sentenced to death. 2 years later, the Butcher of Rostov met his end by a firing squad. Chikatilo's reign of terror serves as a stark reminder of the depths of depravity that can exist beneath a veneer of normalcy, and underscores the dangers of bureaucratic denial. Number 6. Eileen Wuornos, USA, 1989 to 1990. Eileen Wuornos defied the trend of male-dominated serial killers. Born in 1956, Wuornos's life was marred by hardship and abuse. Her murderous chapter began in 1989. Over the next year, 7 men would fall victim to her pistol. Wuornos picked all up while she was working as a prostitute along Florida's highways. While her initial claim was self-defense, evidence suggested a pattern of cold-blooded murder. Each victim was robbed and their bodies dumped. Her capture in 1991 made headlines. During her trial, the media grappled with the narrative of a woman deeply scarred by her past committing such crimes. In 1992, Eileen Wuornos was convicted and sentenced to death. In 2002, the tragic arc of Wuornos's life came to an end when she was executed by lethal injection. Her story challenges societal preconceptions about gender and violence, serving as a bleak testament to the destructive capabilities of unchecked pain and anger. Number 7. Richard Ramirez, USA, 1980s. Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, casts a long shadow over American crime history. With a spree that spanned 2 years, he terrorized California with murder, sexual assault, and burglary. The randomness of his crimes and his use of occult symbols elevated him to the status of a mythical monster. His actions suggested a deep-seated pleasure in inflicting pain and fear. The psychological torment was integral, with survivors recounting his threats involving Satan. It was the summer of 1985 when the terror peaked. Recognized by locals in East Los Angeles, a group of residents pursued and subdued Ramirez until police arrived. The subsequent trial was a media frenzy, with Ramirez often displaying satanic symbols. In 1989, he was found guilty on 13 counts of murder and sentenced to death. Ramirez passed away in prison in 2013 due to health complications. The Night Stalker's story remains a chilling reminder of the sinister evils that can lurk in the very heart of our neighborhoods. Number 8. Pedro Lopez, South America, 1960s to 1980s. The horrifying legacy of Pedro Lopez, infamously labeled the Monster of the Andes, is particularly harrowing. Responsible for the deaths of potentially hundreds of young girls across South America, his crimes are a testament to human depravity. It was in 1980 that his reign of terror was halted. In Ecuador, a flood uncovered a gruesome scene of bodies, leading to his capture. Shockingly, under interrogation, he confessed to the murder of over 300 girls. In 1981, Lopez was found guilty. Due to legal limitations at the time, he was sentenced to the maximum penalty of only 16 years in prison. After serving 14 years, Lopez was released in 1994. He was briefly rearrested, declared insane, then sane, and released on bail in 1998, disappearing soon after. The whereabouts of Pedro Lopez remain uncertain. His story is a grim reflection on the societal conditions that can allow such evils to flourish. Number 9. Alexander Pichushkin, Russia, 1992 to 2006. Alexander Pichushkin, known as the Chessboard Killer, is one of Russia's most notorious criminals. Operating primarily in Moscow's Bitsa Park, Pichushkin aimed to commit as many murders as there are squares on a chessboard, 64. This chilling goal underscored the methodical nature of his crimes. Pichushkin claimed to feel close to his victims, believing that he held their souls in his grip. This twisted sense of intimacy added layers of horror to his acts. His capture in 2006 came when a body was discovered with a note inside pointing directly to him. Under interrogation, he boasted about his crimes. In 2007, he was found guilty of 48 murders, though he claimed to have committed 60. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with the first 15 years in solitary confinement. The chessboard killer stands as a grim reminder of the monsters whose actions are driven by obsession and perverse need for recognition. Number 10. Yang Xinhai, China 2000 to 2003. The turn of the 21st century witnessed the rise of Yang Xinhai, infamously dubbed the Monster Killer. In a spree that spanned just a few years, Yang's crimes were marked by their brutality. Armed with tools like hammers, he would often strike at night, targeting rural homes. He would eliminate entire families, leaving scenes so gruesome they defied comprehension. Perhaps more terrifying was his rationale. When asked about his motivations, he chillingly replied that killing inspired him to kill more. Yang's capture in 2003 came about due to routine police checks. Perhaps sensing the inevitable, Yang confessed to his crimes with cold detachment. In 2004, Yang Xinhai was found guilty of 67 murders and 23 rapes. He was sentenced to death and executed in February 2004. The sheer volume and viciousness of his crimes make him one of the world's most prolific serial killers. His story stands as a testament to the unpredictable nature of evil, which can emerge in the most unsuspecting places.